I have both Robinhood and Coinbase linked, and it's interesting to see there's never been really an easy way to show your stocks and your crypto in one place. And one aha moment that we've commonly hear from users is, wow, I bought Tesla and Zoom at IPO, and I also bought Ethereum and Bitcoin early on. And my portfolio, I can finally see the top 5 holdings by weight, and this is me speaking for myself, is actually Tesla, Zoom, Bitcoin, Ethereum. And that's actually a good mix of risk in early buy and hold, and then a new emerging asset class. Being able to see things like Solana just absolutely taking off and overtaking a lot of the equities. Being able to realize when you get a real-time alert when you buy or sell something, or when there's a dividend reinvestment, how often these movements are happening, and get some insight into, whoa, I didn't realize that this was such a large percent of my portfolio. Maybe I should take some of these gains or pare this back. Being able to see the entire picture. I think Mint, I used Mint when I was 20, and at the risk of aging myself, the frustrating thing about Mint was it felt like homework. It was telling me in my early 20s, hey, David, you're spending all of your money at bars every week or restaurants. Thanks, Mint, I'm aware. I don't have money to spend on anything else, really. That's what my friends are doing. I can't really save anything. And this is what I would love for Commonstock to do, as you talk about this, as we sort of segue into embedded finance, which I think is what you're alluding to, is I see a world where, just like Mint, just like Venmo, there's a way to engage with your money and make it very easy and intuitive to understand, whoa, I have way too much money in this high risk thing, or I have not enough exposure to crypto or to tech, or I'm overweight blue chips, which are underperforming, is a very common thing that we hear, is getting a holistic picture of kind of your risk and your exposure to different asset classes. And then, frankly, being able to benchmark that against other peers at your stage of your personal financial journey. When I was using Mint at 22, I was doing the same thing as all of my friends. We were poor right out of college and spending all of our money at bars. And we were kind of benchmarking against each other. Now that I'm in my mid 30s, I'm benchmarking against my peers in their mid 30s. And what's the right level of risk? I think there's a really fascinating dynamic happening right now where we see, instead of spending your money at bars, young people, and this is fantastic, young people are spending their money on the stock market. And that's incredible. They're taking higher risk bites because they're younger. They're in that accumulation phase. And we're seeing people who are more advanced in their career, people who are retired, saying, whoa, this is too risky. You shouldn't be doing this. And I think what's really important to do to get better information is to benchmark against your peer group. And that's where Commonstock has come in very handy, is I can't compare my portfolio to my dad's portfolio. He's in a very different stage of life. Someone who's 20 might have a different risk appetite than me. And so being able to compare with your friends, your smart friends, and see how they've performed and say, oh, wow, I'm very risky compared to most of the people in my peer group, has been super valuable.